Everybody. Hopefully tonight I'll share a few nuggets of information that will help you hopefully sell your gorgeous wares online, or any art or any creativities that creations that you would like other people to see and purchase. Over my many years of making product and now selling it, I've bumbled my way through many different platforms. And so tonight I'm just going to show you two platforms that go hand in hand, and by doing that, you know, hopefully simplifying things for you so that you can actually get some product online and not be too overwhelmed with the whole marketing and sales side of things. Right back in the day with OSGM, I started off okay, and then I had a business partner that was, I was very fortunate, and she took the reins on that side of it. But, you know, way back then, Facebook was brand new, and we didn't even have Instagram in the very beginning. So things have evolved, and they continue to evolve. But what I've really found over the last few years is that Facebook and Instagram have been pretty solid. They change their algorithms, they do all that sort of stuff, but there's just a few key things that you really need to figure out to keep your finger on the pulse of how to sell some things. First of all is to actually get some product up online for people to see. You can do that through Facebook, and you can just show photos, and you can do that through Instagram and just show photos. But what I'll do today is actually show you how to set up a shop on both of those platforms. And strangely enough, because Facebook own Instagram, they're connected, so it shouldn't be too hard. So that's, where are we? Let's go to the next. Yep, there we go. So that's what we've just been talking about. And that's just going through what we hope to achieve today. So creating a Facebook business page to set up your shop, and then to set up your Instagram business account, link your Facebook page to Instagram, tag your Instagram products. So when you make a post or a story, you can actually tag your product in that, which will take you back to your Facebook shop. And then people can purchase from there. So that's basically the journey I'll take you on tonight. And then to keep a little bit of consistency, I know life can be very overwhelming, and if you're a one-man band and you're juggling a lot in a family, I find that planning, you know, having a big day of just trying to plan out some social media things on Later or Planoly has been really great. So I'll talk about that briefly at the end. Ooh, that way. There. So there you can see that's my Facebook page. And from here, you really want to go up to this little button up here that says create, because we want to create a business page, okay? And when you click on the create, it brings you to this page, which then you actually want to go to the business or brand side, and then you click on there. And then it brings you through to this screen. It's all fairly self-explanatory, but there are some little tricky bits that you go, what happens here? So I'll sort of just skip through the easier bits. So there you go, you click on that. Once you've come up with your page name. Now, if you're coming up with a page name, have a really good think about what your product's going to be called, or your brand is going to be called. It should be longer than 4 letters. Oki, O-K-K-I, 4 letters. Didn't really think about that, because when I had to set up my Instagram account, it had to be 5 letters. So I've ended up with a tagline of Oki Collective. So yeah, a little bit longer than 5 letters. Yeah, and excuse me, because I am not a social media guru, I might be getting the words wrong, but anyway, you'll see what I'm talking about through this. So the next page, why is that not working? Hold on. Oh, hold on. Sorry guys, it's just skipped Okay, so then once you've set up your business page, it looks roughly like this. You have to drop in, you know, your logo and maybe a product placement photo here. But what you really need to be focusing on is this section over here. And the main one that we're focusing on tonight is the shop. Okay, so you click on shop and it brings you through, oh, hold on. No, brings you through to something like this. Now, I've already put in 4 garments, but if I was to put in another one, all I have to do is just add product here. And it brings up this little screen down here, which is really self-explanatory again. So you put in all your product photos, the name of your product, how much it costs. No, it's not on sale. That's only if you're doing a promo or promotion or special. Description of what your item is, and then if you have a website, put it in here. Like for me, I have a website which is oki.com.au, and I usually just put that there. And at the moment, my Okid is sitting under my oki.com.au website, so I screen grab or grab the URL from that and just link it in here. Okay, and then that's pretty much it. Add product, and once you've got that all set up, it goes back to that screen here where you've got all your products lined up. Now, that's great for Facebook. So when people come to your website and they see your business domain here, they'll want to press on the shop button, and then you can see what's available in the shop and they can purchase directly from here. The problem that you'll have with Instagram is that if you don't have this site set up with Facebook, that I find it quite hard to actually, you can't, unless you have a Shopify account or another integration, which I am no IT guru and I haven't even come across that yet. It's really important to have this page set up so then your Instagram account can log into this product. It all sounds a little bit hodgepodge right now. It'll become clearer, so bear with me. Okay, so then, oh, I was stuck again. Sorry. Sorry, guys. There we go. Okay, so what I'll take you to now is the Instagram side of things. So what you really need to do is to set up your Instagram profile page, which is basically you log into Instagram and it'll ask pretty much similar same questions as Facebook to set up your profile. And then you get something that looks a little bit like this at the end of the day, okay? Now, with these little buttons up here, you click on that, and this is to set up your business and your shopping, okay, from the photos that you'll be posting. So you get to settings, and then once you click through on settings, you get to this page and you click on business. And then when you click on this, you go through all these and you want to sign up for shopping. Oh, there we go. Okay, and then that takes you through to this and it says open your shopping in Instagram and you get started. Now, because you've already set up your Facebook page, you'll notice that this should be linked to that. Okay. And if it hasn't, what you need to do is basically go back to Facebook. And in the settings, there is a section. Oh, I don't really want to confuse you, but I'll show you. In the settings, you go back here. Ah, there we go. So in the general settings of your business page, you go down here and it's got Instagram, and you click on that and it basically will connect with an Instagram page that you've set up. So there's a bit of toing and froing, and there's there's no clear way of doing this. I've just had to bumble my way through it, but this is the best way to go about it. So set up your Facebook page, set up your Instagram page, you go back to Facebook, click on connect to your Instagram page, and then you should be able to click on the shopping side of things, which is, there we go. So it says it there, you submit for review, and then it finds that you actually have a shop on Facebook and it connects. Okay, I can screenshot these if you want, and I can email them to you if you need just a little bit more time to absorb, because it can be quite confusing. Okay, so from there, once you have your shop connected to your Facebook shop, it's really key, and I find that this converts really, really well, that whenever you do a post of a product, it's really important to tag that product with a link back to your shop, because you've only got a few seconds of people's attention on Instagram, and if you don't capture them, then you've pretty much lost them. So if they really like what you've got, and they it might be 3 a.m. in the morning, they go, God, I love that, they want to be able to click on it and then buy it straight away. So this is the best way that I've found, and it converts so well, is that I will get this little shot, a little, tag product flag put on my photos. And to do that, it's pretty simple, and it's self-explanatory again. So once you get into Instagram and you do a post and you choose your photo, and then you write your caption, and you see this line here, it says tag products, and then you tap the photo to tag the product, and then you find which product it is in your shop from Facebook. This is all populated from Facebook. So then this is the cutie patootie little Jane, and I just click on that, and then that's when that happens. It gets the tag added to the photo, and then basically people just click on that and purchase. So that was a lot in such a short amount of time to get your head around how to actually set up your shop on Facebook and Instagram. It takes a long time to actually get your head around those sort of things, but feel free. And Stace, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Yep. Can people ask me questions today?
Yeah.
On this, because that was quite rushed. I feel like I should have slowed down, and I'm just wondering if people really understood, or they need me to explain things further with that.
Yeah, well, I can open it up to people if they like to ask for any questions. Valkanis is asking, do Facebook or Insta charge a fee?
For tagging, no, not at all. It's all free. The only time that they charge is if you wanted to promote one of your posts. So basically, but the other thing is they won't promote posts where a product is tagged. So it sort of defeats the purpose with that one. But I'll keep going, but people just have a think if you've got any questions, and I'll try and answer them by the end of it. I mean, there's another side of consistency of capturing your marketplace as well.
Well, there's a lot of questions coming in.
Is there?
Yeah. Elise has asked, do either Instagram or Facebook charge a commission?
No.
Right. And,
no, the only way that they make the money at the moment is that I'm aware of is through promotion.
Right. Yeah.
And you can, I do promote, and that's to actually get more followers, and you can select as to where you direct those followers. Like you can go to your profile so they can explore who you are and what you do. You can send them to your shop. yeah, there's different ways of capturing market there. But I find that organic growth is so much better because you find more fans of your work rather than just followers. You can have 10,000 followers and not convert many sales at all. But if you've got 10,000 fans, then or even 1,000. I think I read somewhere that if you've got 1,000 fans of your brand, you've got an extremely sustainable business.
Yeah. So they don't charge commission, and do you need to use Facebook and Instagram together?
If you want, I do know that if you've got a Shopify website, that's the only other way that Instagram will show a shop or that you can actually tag product.
Right.
I don't know if any other platform does. That's the only one that I'm aware of. But because Facebook, I believe, would want to monopolise, as much as they possibly could, yeah, they'll streamline it just through Facebook.
So the shop itself sits on Facebook, is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
So you don't need a separate website or anything. You can just set
No. So if you didn't have a website, actually, it doesn't hurt if you've got a website either.
Yeah.
Because I think you've got the URL that you can put in, and that helps heaps.
So, and how does the money get exchanged then? Does it go through PayPal or?
Good question, actually. Let me have a look.
So when someone buys through Facebook.
Can I get back on that question? I'll answer that one later.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'll dig deeper into that one. And I'm just having second thoughts about, because I actually, on the Facebook side of things, let me go back here, I do have my website listed.
Yeah.
And so mine all does go through my website. So I should actually double check if you do need a website for all that. And if you do, then you basically need to have a Squarespace or something set up, which is pretty basic as well. So it does help in a big way, which is really frustrating.
Yeah.
Because that's, I think having a website can be quite overwhelming to set that up if you're not IT creative. I mean, this is overwhelming enough, really.
Yeah, I think just being able to do it on the social pages sounded actually quite appealing.
Exactly. But I'll have a look through that, and whoever needs to know whether you need a website or not, I'll definitely find that out and get back to you on Friday.
And Sandra's asked, and I'll get back to this other one. Sandra asked, do you need to have both Insta and Facebook, or can you just have a Facebook account?
You can just have Facebook. Absolutely, that's fine. It depends where your marketplace is as well. So if you wanted to market to, I guess, how did I start doing it? I've got my own personal Facebook account, and if you build that up, and then you can just branch off from your own personal account and just get friends to actually, share your new business with people they know that might like it too. That's another way of getting your name out there.
And George has asked, items that appear in your shop, do they just appear in the order that you load them, and can you reorganise them?
You can reorganise them. Yep, you can drag and drop.
Right. So it's just a matter of doing that.
Yeah, and you can delete them as well, once they're sold. So it's pretty malleable like that. And
Liz said, is it possible to update products on both platforms at the same time? So if you update one, will it automatically roll through? Or?
Yes. Yep. You update it on Facebook, then it'll update it on Instagram, because Instagram's, getting all its information from Facebook.
Right. And Valcarnis at Big Pond has said, can you link the web page shop to Facebook? And that's where that you just put the website link in.
Yeah, yep. And let me just see if I can show you another. Here's another example here. Oh, there we go. So you've put in the name, the price, description, and then checkout URL. So this is where you can redirect people to your website and directly to that product as well.
Carol's saying, I already have a separate artist Facebook page and a website with a shop page. I was thinking I could redirect from Facebook or Instagram to my website for the purchasing. So
yeah, absolutely, you can do that. Yep.
All right.
If you want to channel all your business through your website, then Facebook just redirects it all through there.
Right. Well, that's it. So, so the actual buying happens on the web page, and that's what we believe does happen. Is that right, Fee?
Yeah.
The purchasing part happens.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it works, but I'm going to actually investigate further because I want to see if you do have to have a website connected to it, because if you don't, then that's another step that people need to take to actually, you know, get their product up online.
And so when I guess like people are asking if you need a PayPal, like I think there would be, you may not necessarily need a PayPal, and you can set up something like for a direct debit if like on purchase, I would say.
Absolutely. And there's SSL gateways, which is secured, you know, payment transfer gateways that you can actually implement as well. PayPal is just really easy, and that's why most people, you know, offer PayPal, and it's a secured system. So for the purchaser, it's great. For the artist, you know, they take 4% of the sale.
And can you explain SSL gateway?
I'm not a tech. It basically is, I think it's an international standard for secured, you know, money transfers.
Right.
Means that it's encrypted.
Right. And Melinda said, do you have to remove the item when it's sold? Because she sells individual pieces. No. And if she doesn't want to sell more than one, so
that's
I guess
fine.
How would you? Is there an easy way of just marking it as sold or something like that, or?
No, I don't think so. I think that's the hardest thing with this. Although, hold on. Oh, let me have a look back here.
You just untag it, would you? Maybe.
Well, you could, yeah. You can easily. The good thing about Instagram is that you can go back in and edit your posts, so you could easily just untag it if that's what you want to do. But on the Facebook page, on the Facebook shop, I was just thinking it says. I'm just wondering if you would. Yeah, I'm not too sure how you would go about that, because I usually just leave my product up there until it's sold out, and then I just remove it.
Melinda said, does Facebook indicate that it's sold automatically? But someone else has gotten back to Melinda, said you can set up in PayPal to sell just one item. So.
Oh, well, you can definitely do just one item. I mean, that's perfect for artists. Absolutely. Now I can go on and talk about just something else that helps me just organise my posts, sales posts.
No worries. I'll keep track of these questions, and yeah, you keep going.
We'll still have time to talk about them at the end anyway.
For sure.
All right. So after you've got them all up, I've sort of looked into a few different platforms to actually help you be a bit more consistent with your posting, to, you know, gain a bit more momentum, to get more people looking at your wares more often rather than one hit and then they've forgotten about you after a week. You know, some brands, they, if you've got a lot of photos, you can do a couple of posts a day. But if you haven't got a lot of photos and it's one person doing it all, it can be quite overwhelming. So if you're an artist, what I've found is that people really like to see you creating your art, and so they become very interesting posts. And you know, it's just really something simple to have this program called Later. There's other ones called Planoly, which is, you know, very similar as well, and they're free for a certain amount of posts as well, so it doesn't cost you anything. And it will go over a few different platforms, social platforms. So here I've got one set up for Oki D. This is really sensitive, sorry. There we go. And I've got Oki D Gang Instagram, Facebook and Pinterest. And so if I want to do an Instagram post, then I will click on one of these photos. Let's say it's the waistband here on a pair of jeans, and I just want to talk about what the waistband does. I drag it over to here to a time slot that I want to post in, and then it comes up like this. And it turns out, you know, this is like an Instagram post. So you write the caption of what it's about, you can tag items in it once again, and then you can link it to your website for that product to be sold once again. The beauty of this is that you can schedule it so that basically you can have a post every day at the same time. If you know that your clientele are online at 8:30, my times for posting is 6 a.m. and pretty much 8 p.m. I mean 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. at night. I find that that's the most popular time for my clients to be online. And that's when I get a bigger following for that product. So that's pretty much the easiest thing that I've found to, you know, rather than waking up and going, geez, I should get a post done today, or I should get, you know, have the pressure of doing one before 8 p.m. at night. If you schedule, you know, week by week, you know, on a Monday you just lay out the whole week's worth of, you know, social posts for your product, then basically you just don't have to think about it, and it means that you're a little bit more organised and you can focus on your craft and art rather than on your marketing and sales, which, yeah, it's taken me a long time to get my head around all that. And then that's just about it. That's it. So when I think the other really good thing to keep in mind is with your photos of your product, people really want to see it from different sides, and if you've got a ceramic vase that you want to show, just show some different sides to it, just so it gives it a little bit more depth. People like to see, you know, a couple of photos of my clothing so that they can see attention to detail or texture of the fabrics. You know, sometimes I always put in a sizing chart as well so that people get an idea, and that helps the sale go through. But other than that, that's what I've been rolling with for the last 2 years. That, and now I'm trying to master Pinterest. But being a one-man band, it's sort of you can only do so much and do it well. So you can focus on your craft. All right, Stace, any more questions?
Yep. Sandra's asked, does the logo have to be a registered trademark? Did you go into that with your logos?
Well, I've always done that. It doesn't hurt, and IP is really easy these days, guys. It costs usually $250 to get your trademark, your brand or logo trademarked, and it's a really simple process, and it's all online. I've just done that with Orchid. So I would only get it done if you think that people will rip it off, or if it's in competition with another brand's potential logo, so you don't get any cease and desists notifications. Any other questions?
Does your Facebook and Instagram pages have to have the same name to be linked to your shop?
No, I don't think they do. Mine do, but that's a really good point, because I think with Facebook,
I think they just have to be linked.
no, I don't think it does. I think it's just because when you go through and connect from your Facebook page, that's when you type in your what do they call it? Tagline. So with our kid, you know, the tagline in Instagram is @OkidGang. So I don't know. Hold on. Can I just look at my Facebook page and I'll be able to tell you straight away?
Yeah.
Let me have a look for you. I don't think so. It's not going to hurt though. Consistency is always good.
Yeah, it doesn't confuse people. Grant's asked about LinkedIn, but you're not au fait with LinkedIn feed?
Not really.
Then whether it offers any sales opportunities, I don't know that either. So
no, I can't help with that, I'm afraid. I am starting to dig into Pinterest, and that's quite interesting. But yeah, I can't say that I know too much about that at the moment.
with Instagram, is the process put up a photo of item, then in the text write link in bio, or is there a better way?
Well, what would you use link in bio for? Because if you're tagging your post with your shop product, then you probably don't need that link in bio.
And that tag refers back to the Facebook shop. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. I guess the other way that you could do it is if you don't want to have a Facebook shop, maybe you could do it through the website. If you had a website and just Instagram, and that's where link in bio would be usable, because then you'd just be linking it back to your website.
And Sandra's asked, will Instagram work on my PC instead of a phone? I know some of the some things in Instagram aren't available on a PC. Some functionalities, you can't take photos.
You know what? I find with Instagram, anything on a even laptop or anything, if it's not mobile, you actually can't do too much with it. It really is a mobile app. So iPad's fine and mobile phone. If I just want to have a look at, like for most of my slides, I had to screen grab it off my phone because the functionality isn't on a computer.
Okay.
Any more?
No, not yet.
And did people understand the flow of how to set up Facebook and then connect to Instagram? It can be quite mind-boggling.
Here you go. Liz has said,
Yep.
in terms of data protection, who is the customer giving their details to, and who is responsible for keeping it safe? So
like the payment details.
Yeah. So, and this sort of links back to another question that I've actually been meaning to get back to. Someone actually asked about how you cover postage as a purchased item as well.
Oh, okay.
So I talk about that as if you have that as a separate product, and then you know, what happens with the information that customers give you like in terms of their address and all of that. I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So because mine goes all through my website, with website information, you usually have plugins to actually get. So there's a plugin for PayPal. There's a plugin for Afterpay. There's a plugin for, credit card details, and all these have the SSL gateway, especially the credit card side of it. And PayPal has their own security system. So when your customer, and this is how I can't say that I'm a pro on this, but I imagine this is what would happen, is that somebody pays through one of the gateways, and it's the gateways, they're dealing directly with the gateway rather than you as a shop. So if they've made a sale through PayPal and they haven't, for something's gone wrong, then they have to actually consult PayPal. So I imagine all the credentials and everything goes to PayPal, and they're the custodians of the information. But also with any websites, you also have a what do you call it in terms of, not basically a disclosure of what you do with any information that that you may hold. So with subscribers, which is a totally different ball game, where people do give them your email and maybe your shipping details and all that sort of stuff, then you have a disclaimer usually at the bottom of your website saying exactly what you do with their information.
Okay, I'm still muted. And how do you manage postage? Do you just have that as a separate item?
Yeah. If the hardest thing is with postage, it can really take a lot of profit out of your business. So you definitely got to charge postage on top. And I just go $10 flat fee. And it's only because I've got large items, and you can get post packs. I think a pack of 10 of those is, I think it's almost $80 something dollars. It's quite expensive, but you can charge postage whatever you want. If you want to pay part of the postage or the full postage, then it depends on the item that you're actually selling. So if it's breakable, I don't know how you'd go about that, but yeah.
Melinda has actually asked about like managing your stock, I guess, between two different platforms. Like if you're selling via Facebook and on your website, she suggests that it might take a bit much to manage both shops. But are they linked for you, Fee? Like, because you have both.
If you have a website, you would link your Facebook page to your website. So then all the stock is coming out of your website, not your Facebook page.
Yeah. So they are connected in that respect.
Yeah.
And I think too, like what we might do, because you've got yours set up to actually all your purchases, like even if people are coming in via Facebook, they're actually ending up to purchase through your website.
Yeah.
We might do a bit of research into the options available to you if you just want to have stuff set up on social media and you don't want to go down the website path.
Yes.
You can have a look into that during the week, and if people are interested in that, then just pop back in the tea station and we'll have some answers for you on that.
Yeah, I'll have a good dig around Facebook and see how they propose to get around that one.
Yeah, because there's certainly ways of doing that, and I think it just involves I guess other add-ons within Facebook, and I think people
payment gateways
probably,
and all that sort of stuff.
And there's probably associated costs, whether that's just in terms of like a commission that's taken, or whether you pay a license fee. So we'll be able to we'll be able to research that, and we can help you out with that later on in the week. And someone has asked, please, if you would go over the setup of the business page on Facebook, which was, I think, one of your earlier slides.
Yes. Yep, sure. Hold on, let me get back to this crazy platform I've been using that decides to work sometimes and decides not to other times. Oh, here we go. Okay. So going from here, and it's really easy actually. I'll just go from the page. So you go up to the create button here, and that brings you through to this screen. And then it says page name and your category. So your page name would be your brand. And then category is basically, for me, it's children's wear or adults clothing. But, you know, and they, if you ever want, just press on the question mark, they usually answer it for you. So it's pretty easy like that. And then once you go through the business side of things, if you really want to know more about how to set up the page with, let's say, a business profile, more about you and your art, a description of what you do, then go up to settings. Oh, God, hold on. Go up to settings and edit page info. Edit page info does, you know, helps you with the photo here and doing some of your logo bits and pieces. And then here where it says add a button, you can actually make that your shop button. So you can turn that into, you know, shop here or go to my website, or, you know, it gives them a little bit more direction. And then, yeah, that's where the shop button is over here. And when you press that, that's when you get to that page. And then you just have to add product. Has that answered the question? Stace?
I don't know. Great, thanks, Fee.
Oh,
yes, it has. Minerva has asked, like, it's a good question, but I think it's a technical one that's probably for Facebook rather than us, because it just says that she's been trying to run some promotions through Instagram, and it's saying it's not permitted because her ad account is not active. But I think I might get back to Minerva separately on that one, because I think that's like a technical issue. So
I'll connected it to Facebook.
Yeah, so this is the thing, it's all set up in Facebook, all of that ads manager stuff. So yeah, you'll have to make sure that that your account in there is active and everything's set up ready to go. So
yeah,
that might be something we can call Minerva about separately. Sam has said, I think Facebook charges to add buttons and sell products. Is that correct?
Oh, well, if you had an ad, absolutely. Yeah. But just as a shop, with talking about this button here, add a button, no, there's no charge for that. But if you were talking about having an ad, then they would charge you to have an ad.
And do you know if you can convert an existing Facebook page to a business page?
Yes, you can. I'm pretty sure, because you can do that with Instagram. Let me just go back. Hold on. Where are we? Now. Usually around this sort of area, you can see if you can change it over into a business. But because I've already set this up as a business, it won't, I can't actually show you how to change it over. But most platforms do that. You know, I know Pinterest does, I know Instagram does, and I'm pretty sure that Facebook does as well.
It might be something we could do for Friday as well.
Yeah, I think so.
And Sandra's also asked, does PayPal cost on a Facebook shop to install? I think that's one of the questions.
I don't think PayPal wants your business, so they're not going to charge you to actually connect.
But they may charge a commission?
They will charge you a commission for each sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4% for each sale. And Afterpay is 6% for each sale.
Right.
Yeah. So the consumer wins on that one. Any more?
Okay. Not sure if anyone's got anything else for Fee, but like I said, we'll have a look at the options available to you if you're just wanting to set up a shop direct from your Facebook and not have to do a website. And we'll cover that on Friday for everyone who is interested in that. Minerva, I'll get back to you separately about your question, and we might also look into just on the converting an account to a business account.
Yeah, and I'll look into. I'm pretty sure PayPal and that buttons they won't charge anything, but I'll look at the whole shop side of things if you just wanted a Facebook page shop.
And one of the questions is a really interesting one, and this is good because this is you'll get to share your personal experience with it. Do you really know which is the best platform that's working for you, like Facebook or Instagram? Which do you think?
Instagram's working for me better than Facebook.
And why do you reckon that is, do you think?
Well, I always look at Facebook like a diary and Instagram's like a magazine. So people just flick through Instagram and they see something that they like and they just press like and they move on to the next thing. Whereas Facebook feels to me like more of a community, and you get a lot more comments and a lot more. I don't know. I feel like it's just, yeah. I feel like it's a journal. Whereas Instagram's just a snippet and it's a photo and it's go to this product. It's more in your face and direct. And for the time poor people, they just seem to go onto that platform quite fast, and that's where my main consumer goes.
And you were talking earlier, Fee, about like developing, I guess, followers that are more fans than followers, like
Yes.
people who actually really, I guess, engage rather than just, swiping straight past. How have you managed to do that just over the past few years? Like, because I know that you do have a lot of people who are more fans than followers.
Yeah. That's a tricky one for me because I was really fortunate with OICM. Initially it was hard to get traction with Facebook because it was such a new creature for business, and it wasn't really targeted to business at all when we first started. But through that, I think what really happened was the big moment for me with social media was when an external party started in this group called OICM Pre-Loved, and it was where everybody swapped their OICM items or talked about, this season's drop, or has anybody found the sizing right on this, and that's when the community really, really started. And then from that sort of community, that's when Instagram sort of came into play, and Instagram's more like a photo album where you can really, really display how you would like your business to be presented, without all the writing and everything distracting you from just the glossy pictures. But I think having Facebook there as a community was really, really handy because it you started to recognise all the same names, and people that really engaged with your product and wanted to know more. So then from those sort of conversations, you can target your, I guess, your product and hone your product even further. I don't know if I've answered that question very eloquently, but
yeah, it sort of, I guess it happened fairly organically, really.
Yeah.
But I guess the way you actually talk to and Facebook, when you said that's a community, you do get the opportunity to reply to people straight away personally. And I think Sabrina alluded to that in her chat about whether you set up social media or a website. She did say that when you do have a Instagram or Facebook account, it's a really good thing to personally reply to a lot of the comments that are made. So you do develop that real sense of community and, I guess, engagement with.
Oh, absolutely. It's essential to actually, if people say, oh, that's really beautiful, and just, even a thanks or something like that means that you're there, you're present, and they get a bit of a buzz out of it too.
Yeah, there's a really good, actually, I think Faye said Instagram's like a gallery and Facebook's like a gallery, like a cafe to catch up.
Yes, absolutely.
That's really good analogy there. And someone's asked, do you ever get people who want to buy from overseas? Is Instagram more international, would you say, than Facebook?
Well, I wouldn't say so as much, because if you do I just saw this. Look at the slides, and up here it says audience optimization for posts. And with those sort of things, you can actually target, like if I really wanted to get into the Japanese market, I would start, pointing all my posts towards, Australia and Japan. And then somehow more people in Japan start, seeing your wares more than anywhere else in the world.
Don't you got Facebook algorithms?
Yeah.
I guess the use of, the use of hashtags in Instagram, it also gives you the opportunity of expanding your reach beyond.
Yes, actually, yeah.
Your local, and by looking into, and this is just where I think good old-fashioned research comes into it. Like if you look at people that you follow and that you admire and see what hashtags they quote in their posts.
Yeah.
And because you can follow hashtags, and you'd be amazed at how many, I guess, international posts you'll start seeing outside of the people.
Another really good thing to do with posting is the same sort of thing as hashtags. If you go to your like a competitor's or somebody that you really admire, their Instagram site, and you see all the posts that they've done, and you go through and you see which one has actually sparked the most interest, and then you can start documenting what really works for them. Like if you're a similar sort of business, then that sort of gives you, a cheating sort of way of going, okay, well, if I try this sort of angle to actually capture more of a marketplace, I wonder how that would go. So it's just really trial and error with those sort of things, but that's another angle you can go down to.
For sure. Well, thanks, Fee. That's great. Catherine said, thanks so much for sharing all this information, Fee. It's very generous of you. We've had a couple of thanks on the chats.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't confuse everybody.
No. Well, it's a big world, selling online, and there are so many options. So at least we've got it down just a couple of platforms. So that's great.
Yeah.
Someone did ask earlier if we were recording this and whether we were going to post it, and yes, we will. So we're hoping to have all the workshop videos up on our website. We'll certainly have them up by the end of the month, but we'll start putting the last 2 weeks worth up in the next week or so. So keep an eye on the surfcoastartstrail.com.au website. So Elisa said, thank you. It's very informative. Thanks so much for taking the time to explain your method. Sam says, thanks. And I just saw one other question. Stories on Insta. Haven't done one yet.
Oh.
Why do you think this is?
I think stories are amazing, and I'm so glad somebody brought that up, because I was so focused on the shopping side of things. But stories just pop up at the top of your page. So every morning I turn on my phone and I see who's actually posted a new story, not a new post, a story, and that's just brought straight to your attention. So anybody you're following just goes straight, it's right in your face. So it's really important to do stories. And I think stories are a really good way of actually showing people what you do, because you can take little videos and do it.
Process.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really fun, actually. And they don't have to be super polished or amazing either. It's just another way to connect. And as I said, building the community.
Yeah.
People love to know the people who create brands. So, stories for sure.
Fifi Flower says, cool, get out there. So, yes, everybody get out there. Okay, everyone. Well, I think we might wind it up for the night. That's been fantastic.
And so on Friday, we'll have an idea of Facebook offers without a website, shop-wise.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Okay.
But so thanks everyone for coming along tonight. As I mentioned before, the videos will be up on the website later in the week, and keep an eye on your inboxes. In the next few days, I'll send out that email with the Zoom link for the tea station, along with the PDF of Fee's presentation, so you can have a look through and join it up with your notes. And then if you have any questions, you can bring them along on Friday. So and if it's Friday, 2:30, I don't know, is that 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock.
Might be a bit early. But anyway, so thanks everyone for coming along. Thank you again, Fee. That was fantastic. And we will catch up soon.
Thanks so much, Stace. You did an awesome job. Thanks everybody for turning up. It was nice to have people to talk to.
Okay, everyone. Well, good night, and we'll see you soon.
Good evening.